I think you'll have to unmute yourself, Brianna, to talk. She's frozen. Let's see what's going on. There she is.
Yeah. I'm using Walmart Wi-Fi, so if I disappear, that's why.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up a PowerPoint so I can put all my thoughts together, so I wouldn't forget anything. Because we learned a ton at convention.
I'm gonna mute, and then you can unmute yourself, Brianna.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Okay. The first lady that we heard from while we were at convention was Rita Davenport, and she was hilarious. But she had so much insight on network marketing. She was really a great speaker. My favorite quote that she did in the 2 hours that we heard her speak was, "It costs nothing to dream, but everything if you don't." And I just feel like that's super important for you to realize that if you're not dreaming big, nothing big is going to come of your business. Because the way we speak our affirmations every day, what you speak is what you're going to become. You're not in Plexus for you. You're in Plexus for your people. Because growing your business isn't about you. It's about helping people do better than you and wanting your team to outperform you. Because if your team's not performing to their best abilities, you're not going to get past senior gold. You can get to gold by yourself, and you can get to senior gold with one strong leg. But there out after that is all dependent on your team. She also said you better get your asking gear. If you don't ask, you won't get. It doesn't do any good for you to work hard if you're not also working smart. And your worth is dependent on your network. People in your network will work harder for praises than they will for raises. So definitely praising on your team for every little accomplishment they make, not just promotions, but anytime they sign someone new or get a new preferred customer or get the highest PV that they've had since they've joined, just anything like that. You definitely have to praise your team along the way to keep them motivated. She also said money isn't everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. It doesn't matter until you don't have any. School is never out for the Plexus ambassador. The more you learn, the more you earn. You have to invest in yourself. Another thing she talked about was learning when to say no. You have to know what's important to you, and you can't let anyone take away what's important to you. Promotions and getting new ambassadors is not important just at the end of the month when it comes time to crunch time. And you don't want to be at the end of the month freaking out because you just needed 1 or 2 more ambassadors to hit that next promotion. You have to learn when to say no so that during the beginning of the month when everything's smooth sailing, if someone wants to go hang out and go do something that's not in your IPAs, for instance, you have to learn to say no. You have to work your business. You have to prioritize your business if you want to make more than just hobby pay. The more you give, the more you get. You need to pour into your team so your cup will runneth over. Pouring into your team is going to make them much more self-sufficient learners, much more self-sufficient teammates. They can't count on you forever when they have 2 and 3 gold ambassadors under them. That means it's time for them to be their own leader, to lead their own team. You're just there for guidance and support. She also said all outstanding salespeople have to reach the point of no longer fearing rejection. That is huge whenever you're trying to lead a team. You can't just sit back and hope everybody's going to come reach out to you when you need those extra ambassadors to hit that next promotion. You have to be able to cold message people. You have to be able to reach out to people that you're not usually comfortable talking to. You're going to run out of close friends and family to sign up or to sell Plexus to you. So you're going to have to reach out to those people you haven't talked to in Lord knows how long. You're just going to have to get over that and reach out to them, or you're going to miss out and someone else is going to reach out to them. She says we need to do what you don't want to do for a little while so you can do what you want to do forever. Eventually, you are going to have a strong team underneath you, and they're going to do a whole lot more of the things that they don't want to do for you. And you're not going to have to do that anymore because you already did that and you have a strong team base. She also said, when someone tells me they don't want Plexus or they make fun of me being a part of Plexus, it makes her laugh. It's funny to her because someone like that would bring down her team and tarnish the image of Plexus. No's are good. Eventually, those no's will turn into yes because they're going to see your success and see their friend's success and see everybody else's testimonies. And then they're going to want to get with the program and get with Plexus. So no's are a good thing. They're not ready to be a part of something this big. Another thing she says, and it really did wonders for me, she said, success does not depend on your upline. It just doesn't. It depends on the person you create. If every team is going to be different, and they're not going to need the same things as someone else's team as your sidelines need. If you have a great upline to mock, that is great. You are one step ahead of the game. I have a phenomenal upline. My upline is the best. But then there's some people who just join through our website and don't really have an upline, or someone joined under someone that's super high up and just doesn't pay attention to their downline anymore. Just be grateful for the great upline that we have, because they're here to guide you to make you into that person that your downline needs you to be. And every downline is going to be different, so you're going to have to tweak yourself to be exactly what your downline needs. Yourself do not want to do. If you don't want to do it, if you don't want it for yourself, no one is going to be able to hold your hand and walk you through and walk you straight to the top, because you won't get to the top if you don't want it yourself. It's just plain and simple. It's a self-help business. If you want it, great, you're going to go far. But you're going to have to want it for yourself before someone else can help you. The last thing she left us with was the affirmation you must always speak is, I am the greatest. She got that when she interviewed Muhammad Ali, and it just stuck with her through her life after that. And I just feel like speaking that I am the greatest every day would do wonders for someone's affirmations. It's going to grow them as a person. She also said, what good are low hopes? You always have to dream big, because what if what you are dreaming now, you will become later, as long as you don't give up. In your business, you're going to have high times, and you're going to be promoting like nobody's business. You're going to be adding people left and right, but then there's also going to be low points, and you're going to have to push through those low points, because low points in every business, it doesn't matter if we're doing Plexus, Mary Kay, just your office 9-to-5 business, you're going to have low points, and you have to keep pushing through that. The next guy, Antonio, he was actually the speaker that we, hold on. I don't know how to make that go away. Oh, there we go. He was actually our speaker. The whole time we were there, he was the main guy. What really stuck with me when he was talking to us was, you have to go all in with Plexus. You can't do it halfway. Not sharing Plexus with your friends and family is selfish, which it really is. You are keeping something that everybody needs. And if you're not willing to share it, you're being very selfish with that. He also said, if you're always looking for the back door, just in case this doesn't work out, you're never going to fully commit. And that is, you can't get any truer words than that, because people can definitely tell if you're committed or not. If you're always looking for the back door because you think the products might not work, or you're not going to promote and make as much money as somebody else is, you're not going to promote and you're not going to make that kind of money because you're not committed to your business. You have to commit fully and be a product of the product for this to be a successful business for you. If you have belief and faith in our products and our compensation plan, put your blinders on and just share. It doesn't matter if you get a million no's to one yes, or someone's making fun of you, your fiance doesn't support you, your parents don't support you doing this business, they think it's a joke. You just have to put your blinders on and share to people who care. It is phenomenal that Plexus does all our marketing for us. At convention, they announced shareables, which is super easy. You go on your back office and share an animation that's already completely made for you. All you have to do is put a caption, and all of them already have captions made that you can use their captions. So they do all your marketing for you. All you have to do is stick to your plan. He also said you should have a power partner, someone to keep you accountable, someone to make sure that you're hitting your goals, you're still reaching out, you're still doing your 5-3-1. You need to have a power partner. That's just going to make you, it's going to make it that much easier to keep yourself accountable. He also wants you to remove the phrase, "what's in it for me," and replace it for "what's in it for them." You have to be the pillar of belief for them, because when you have a newbie, they're probably not going to have a strong belief, a strong foundation of what our company is. They're just not going to, because they haven't been in it. Unless they've been watching you for years, they're not going to have the same belief as you. So you need to be that pillar of belief for them and let them lean on you and use your testimony and use your friends' testimonies to make sure that that belief is being built in them. You need to be grateful but not content. You have to keep moving forward and keep growing and keep evolving. Our business is changing and our business is growing at crazy rates. And you have to keep growing with that. You have to keep learning and keep all your knowledge up to date, because things change. So you have to keep up with the business. This business is all about relationships. People join you for the products because they know they work, they've seen them work, but they're going to stay with you because of the relationship you made with them. If you just sign someone up and don't talk to them ever again after that, they're probably going to white line after a while. They might white line the very next month because you never checked in to see how their products were doing. They could have had terrible die-off symptoms, and they just thought that the products weren't working. It was making them sick. If you're not following up with that and checking in on them and you literally have to hold their hand and baby them until they get going, until they decide, hey, this is for me and I want to work the business too. You kind of need to baby them and just build that strong relationship with them so they want to stick with us. The last guy we heard from when we were at convention, his name was Edison, sorry. He has a book that I want to read, and it's, he's a big, I just completely went blank, and I left my notes in my camper, so I'm kind of just winging this right now. I'll post what book it is because it was an awesome book, and they were sold out at the end of convention online. So, he wants you to decide who you are. That is your very first step in any business, is decide who you are. You need to decide who you are as a leader. Your life is a big deal, so you have to treat it that way. Strength is granted to us all when we are called to do great causes, and your life is a great cause. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be.
Brianna.
You need to be a green and growing or ripe and rotten. You have to let your mind consume positive thoughts and consume personal growth. That's just like all our upline, Felicia and Ruby and Jessica always preach about having positive affirmations and always reading them multiple times a day and going back and changing your why. That is exactly what he's talking about. You have to consume positive thoughts. about your business, about your life. All of that reflects on your business. You have to have positive thoughts. You make the decision when you get old by the thoughts you think. When you start talking about what you did and not about what you're going to do, you become old. When you start talking about your business and saying, oh, I promoted such and such back then, instead of saying, I'm going to be diamond by convention 2017. You have to have a forward set mind. You have to keep moving forward. You need to get happy every single day. If you're waiting on the circumstances to make you happy, you will never be happy. You have to have a mindset that says, I'm going to get up, show up, and I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to fight every day. Because you have to fight for your business. You have to fight to make sure that your business isn't going to fall through the cracks, that you're going to keep adding people and keep your people that you already have happy and loving plexus like the rest of us. You also need to build on your strengths. You need to focus your time and energy on your strengths, and you will be great. Instead of focusing on something you can't do or something that you're poor at, if you focus on things you're good at, nothing's going to be able to stop you, because everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, and that's what our team's there for. We fill in where others can't fill. So if everybody's working on their strengths, our team is going to be unstoppable. You can get better at your weaknesses, but your strengths are your leverage. He's basically saying you can't completely ignore your weaknesses. You should probably work on them a little bit, but don't focus all your time and energy on that, because that's going to take away from those positive affirmations and those positive thoughts. You have to be a goal setter and a goal getter. If you're just one or the other, you're going to fail. If you can't set goals, you'll never have anything to get. And if you just think you're going to be able to get something and not have a plan to back that goal, it's not going to work. You have to be the goal setter and the goal getter. You have to have a plan. He also says, focus only on what you can control. Most people focus on things they have no influence over. You need to focus on your attitude and your activities, because those are two things that you can control. You have to be good at setting your daily goals. And also, what are you going to get done today? What can you control? Winning in many ways is boring. People start having success and forget what got them there. Winning is tough, and it's a day-to-day battle. If you want to win long-term, you have to get up every day and fight to win. That's just like he said earlier in his speech. If you're not willing to fight every day for something that you believe in, you're going to fail. You're not going to go as far, because it's a day-to-day battle. You can't win one time and just think, oh, I'm done now. You have to keep winning every day. And sometimes you're going to lose, and you can't get discouraged. Those are those low points he's talking about. You have to keep fighting every day to be victorious in the end. If you want to go diamond, if you want to go past diamond, if you want to be double diamond like Celeste Gwynn, you have to fight every day and start every day with a positive mindset that you're going to accomplish whatever your goals are for that day. You have to have a positive mindset that you're going to get those done today. He also says, and this is what he left us on, an army of sheep led by a lion is greater and more powerful than an army of lions led by a sheep. You have to be a lion. An army of lions led by a sheep is kind of like having a whole bunch of bosses and someone that's not very outgoing or doesn't have the correct leadership capabilities. But if you have one lion that's just a phenomenal leader and just gets the big picture, that army of sheep are going to follow and be able to duplicate better than having a whole bunch of lions that just bicker back and forth and have a whole lot of ideas and not a lot of plans. He walked off the stage saying, I will see you at the top because the bottom sure is crowded. And that's the best statement that I left convention with, because we saw how many people were sitting up in the stands, up in the big area. They probably had 200 to 300 jewels sitting down in a secluded area. It's not very crowded down there. Who's going to be at the top with us next year? And then they actually shared our PowerPoint from our gold training. And so I kind of wanted to touch base on that just a little bit. Maybe if I can go back to my Zoom call. They actually shared, it was the exact PowerPoint. I'll share my screen again. Maximizing your time was huge. I don't know about you, but chasing around an 11-month-old kind of gets distracting during the day. And I'm a terrible time manager. I'm almost can guarantee you I'm probably going to be 5 minutes late to anywhere because I'm still on mom time and I have not figured out how to manage my time very well yet. But I'm working on it, and I got some great tips and skills that I've brought back, and they've already seemed to have been working. I just wanted to share this because there's quite a few golds on our team. Gold ambassadors are in the top 2%, and senior gold ambassadors are the top 0.78%. So I know there was something on there. The key is not to prioritize what is on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. When they were talking about that, they pretty much made it clear that you have to time block your day. You need to set up time blocks because Plexus has to fit into the nooks and crannies of your life, because everybody knows you have another life outside of Plexus. Most of us work 9 to 5 jobs outside of Plexus, 2 to 3 jobs outside of Plexus, and we all have families outside of Plexus. So we have to prioritize what we're going to get done that day. This is an awesome little diagram of what how we should prioritize, and huge chunks of time for Plexus. You can do little 15-minute chunks of Plexus time during the day, just however you can fit that into your life. Your quadrant 1, the green box, is urgent and the most important. It's for your new ambassadors and people that need help with backup orders or pretty much your level 1 and 2s. Quad 2 is not as urgent, but it's just as important as quadrant 1. It's for IPAs, personal growth, your 15-minute chunks that you have intended for Plexus. That's what's going to happen in quadrant 2. In quadrant 3, the other orange box on the bottom is urgent but not as important to you. It's the people that have been there for a while and know where to find answers. Those are going to be your leaders, people that should already know where to find your answers. They should be the people that you should be able to depend on to help the rest of your downline. Those people should know a good majority of what to do. In quadrant 4, the red box, these are things you're supposed to avoid unless you have spare time. They're not important, they're not urgent, and they're definitely not going to help your business. One of the examples they give was getting on YouTube and ending up watching random videos that do not even pertain to Plexus when you intended on going there to watch a Diamond documentary. Just chatting with your Plexus peeps and not holding people accountable, just having friendly conversation and not doing anything about your Plexus business, that is not important and it's not urgent. Those are the things you should answer last. You have to have intentional focus time. Multitasking is a myth. You have to give your undivided attention to Plexus, to your business, when you have your time set up for that. We all get it. Everybody has other things to do, but in those little 15-minute windows, that's when you need to give your undivided attention to Plexus. You can sign up 2 people in 15 minutes if you get down and get busy and give it your undivided attention. You can reach out to 15 to 30 people in your little 15-minute chunk if you sit down and give it your undivided attention. These are just a little, some of the examples of the nooks and crannies that you can fit Plexus into. My favorite time to fit Plexus in is when we're waiting for Trey to get done ordering all our food for dinner. I can reach out to 10 people then. When we're grocery shopping, Trey's pushing the basket with Kinsley. He knows what we need to get. So while we're in the grocery store, I'm reaching out to people. I actually signed up a preferred customer in the grocery store last night. You just have to make it work. You have to time block your day, those 15-minute chunks that they were talking about. Prioritizing your tasks, that's super, super important. You have to make your time blocks the day before. Because if you're taking that time to do it the day of, you're already wasting time that you could have been putting into your business or into your family or whatever was at the top of your priority that this morning. Totally lost my train of thought because someone walked by me. This was really big for me. Daily method of operation. Your DMO will be driven by goals and the pace you can run. Hold on. 531 plus personal development and posting on social media. Oh my gosh. Reach out to 5 new people a day. Follow up with at least 3 of the people you reached out to the day before or the week before, just 3 people. And train 1 person, whether that be yourself if you don't have any ambassadors or a new ambassador that you've got on your team. You have to be training someone all the time. The speed of the leader is the speed of the team. If you're not in any hurry to promote or any hurry to just reach back out to those people, they're just going to think that you're not in any hurry and that this isn't important to you. Your speed determines the rest of your team. They will do what they see you do and not what they hear you say. That is so, so important for everybody to remember. You can tell your team all day long how to promote and what they need to do, but if you're not showing them in your own business how to do it, they're not going to do it. They're not going to mock you because of what you say. They're going to mock what you do. I need to go to the next page. This is what I was talking about, self-sufficient team members. If you, in the beginning, train them and show them where and how to find their own answers, you are going to earn time back. You're not going to have to help them every single time they need help because you already told them how to find it and where to find it. If you communicate your availability and when they need to lean on each other, that is going to help you so, so much. Sometimes you're just going to have to set office hours for yourself. Even if you work from home, you still have to have those office hours because people are going to be bugging you all day and all night, and they're not going to have any care in the world about what time it is where you are because our team is so spread out. We're in different time zones. They're not going to care what time it is when they're calling you. So you need to set up availability. When you're not available, they're going to have to lean on each other, and that is super important to make a self-sufficient team. It'll make your job so much easier. It'll make their job easier, and it'll make them better leaders. Tools, tricks, and automation. Keyboard shortcuts. I know on iPhones, I'm not sure if I can do it on my Android. I haven't tried it yet. But you can type in a short little word like my web. And every time you type in my web, your whole Plexus website will pop up. That's so easy and so much easier to type in than your whole website when you're trying to send out your information to somebody. If you're in your notes apps, that's where you can keep all your testimonies, any just hey girl messages. So you don't have to keep retyping all that. You can just go copy and paste that and then copy and paste it into your message, personalize it, and send. So much easier. your templates in your email folders, you can actually save drafts in your email and keep sending out those drafts. That's important for like your new ambassador emails, your new customer emails, all of that. Tiny Torch, Buffer, and ClinchShare. The only one I'm familiar with is Buffer. And what it is an app. You go in, write a status, tell it what time you want it to post, what day you want it to post. If you're going to be gone on vacation and you're not going to want to be posting about Plexus while you're gone, set up a couple of statuses to be shared. And then once you're on vacation, you don't have to look at your phone again because Buffer's already going to post those statuses for you automatically at the time you told it to. How to prospect effectively. 3 keys to prospecting success is grow yourself, grow your relationships, and grow your brand. Change is inevitable, and growth is optional. Everything is going to change. Our business is going to change. We're going to get new products. They're going to learn new things about our products. And if you're not willing to grow and change yourself, your team's not going to grow anymore. People are going to fall off because you're not keeping up with the new knowledge. They're going to be undereducated, and your growth is that means your growth is optional. You have to put in the effort for growth. Practical steps to raises everything. Make how high you can promote. Possibilities, they are unreal in this world. We can go as high and make as much money as we want with Plexus. Because our amazing steps to raising that leader is work on your skills as a leader by great leaders. John Maxwell, great books. We actually have all his books for free thanks to Plexus. We can download them on our phones, on our tablets, and read them on the go. We also have all the audio versions. So if you're not a reader like me and my mom, you can plug that into our car and read it and listen to it while we're driving. You can probably join a leadership group or attend a leadership event because leaders are born at events. There's no doubt about that. If you didn't go to convention and you missed out, you truly, honest to God, missed out. Everybody should go to convention one way or another. Save your Plexus paychecks. Do something because you have a whole year until next convention. Everybody should be at convention next year. It was phenomenal. You learned so much. And just the vibe that Plexus puts off at convention is unreal. You will come home so motivated. You just seek out amazing leaders around you and ask for advice. Reach out to your sidelines and your uplines. We have a phenomenal upline. Our upline takes the time to talk to each and every one of us. All you have to do is reach out to them. Andrea Mitchell and Celeste, Gwen, and Roz, they will all take the time to talk to you if you just reach out. They are amazing leaders. They've already been to the top, and most of them, Celeste's been through twice. I'm sure she has amazing advice to give everybody. So all you have to do is reach out. Seek out coaching from your sponsor. Everyone on our team has phenomenal sponsors because of the way our upline trained everybody. So reaching out to your sponsor for help and leadership, you can't go wrong with that. We have phenomenal uplines. Who you attract is determined by what you not by what you want, but determined by who you are. Just because you want to be a diamond doesn't mean anything right now. People aren't going to come and join your team because you want to be a diamond. They're going to join you because you're putting off the vibe of being a diamond. You're putting off the efforts that diamonds put off. You are acting like a diamond and you're promoting like a diamond. You have a diamond mindset. That's what's going to attract people to you. These are just some of the qualities that we look for in runners, in people that you want to join your business to run the business. Self-starter is super, super important. If they're going to be looking for every direction, they're probably not going to go very far, very fast. If you're going to have to hold their hand the entire time, you need someone who's going to be a self-starter and be able to take initiative and do it themselves and reach out to people without being told and posting without being told and just working their business like you trained them to work their business. I think my second favorite one was a visionary. If someone can't see the big picture, they're not going to promote very fast because they just don't get it. That's just pretty much, they're not going to get it if they can't see these are just some prospecting do's and don'ts. Do focus on others. You have to pour into your team and to your prospects to get anything back. If you're not pouring into them, more than likely they're going to fall off the wagon. Don't talk more than you listen. That was a great thing Roz pointed out. If you aren't taking the time to listen to your team's needs or to your potential's needs, you're not going to be able to help them in the way that they need help. You're not going to be able to suggest products correctly. You're going to miscalculate and you're going to miss out on a great potential because you weren't a listener. Do expand your network. Join clubs. Join a Mother's Day out. Join a church group. Join a new Facebook group. Do something to gain more friends and more people. Whenever I started Plexus, I added every single one of Trey's friends on his Facebook. I added like probably almost 600 people in a month. And now I'm pretty good friends with most of them. But that was network that I didn't have before. Do not stay in your comfort zone. If you are not willing to get out of your comfort zone, you're not going to promote. That goes back to no's are okay and cold messaging and having to not fear rejection. You have to get out of that comfort zone. Do present your opportunity and products to everyone. It is not your job to decide if they need the business or if they need the products. Your job is to share to everyone, regardless of what you think they want or need. Because that's just losing a prospect. If you don't share it with everybody and give everybody the chance, you're going to miss out on someone great. You'll probably miss out on a runner because you just didn't give them the chance. That just goes along with not prejudging. You can't just, based on, Kenna's an introvert. And I'm going to use her as my example. If I would have not reached out to Kenna just because of the fact that we're polar opposites, I'm way more going. I will talk to anybody and everybody, and Kenna is just polar opposite of me. If I would have not taken the time to reach out to her just because I thought I would have missed out on a great business partner, because she's my power person. She's the person that keeps me accountable, and she's been definitely a blessing to me in my business. And that just goes along with not prejudging. Growing your brand. Personal branding is all about discovering what makes you special and then communicating it to the right people through multiple channels. Posting on Facebook does not replace prospecting. You still have to 531 every single day. But before posting anything, you need to ask yourself, does this go against my brand? It has to be drama-free, and it has to be positive. When someone asks you for your contact information, if you're just in an airport, in an elevator, in a store, friend them on Facebook. Have them friend you so you can accept their friend request right away. This will ensure that you will have a way to contact them later on. So just to recap, you need to grow yourself, grow your relationships, and grow your brand. This was all Roz's section, and it was about motivating your team. like I said at the beginning, you can get to gold on your own, and you can get to senior gold with one strong person, but anything after that, you will not be able to do by yourself. After that, you need a team that is there to work the business, a team that's going to help you grow and perform to your best ability. And you're going to have to be a leader that can teach your team to do that also. So how do you motivate your team to duplicate in order to get beyond senior gold? You need to teach your leaders how to share their beliefs and their passion. If they're fast and they're not going to build as fast as you, you have to keep their team engaged. Team pages are super, super important. If you're not engaging with your whole team and letting your whole team engage together with their sidelines, they're missing out on tons of support and tons of motivation. Those team pages also need to be super positive and just really upbeat. You need to teach them how to identify and run with their runners. That just goes back to that list of qualities that you look for in a runner. Don't prejudge those, because some of those qualities still can come out once they get with the flow of Plexus. But you definitely want to help them identify their runners from the beginning. And I know Tara Castaneda told me that it took her a long time to find her runner. She sat at senior gold for 8 months. So do not give up if you don't have a runner straight out the gate. Another good example of that is my mom. She was with Plexus for almost 10 months before I joined, and she did not have a runner until me. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer than others to find a runner. You need to teach them how to be the leader that their team wants to emulate. Like I said, every downline is going to be different. Every downline is going to have different needs and wants. But if you have a phenomenal upline like we do, you're already one step ahead because you have great people to mock. And then all you have to do is tweak your leadership skills to fit your downline. How to share belief and passion. Constantly affirm belief in the industry, our company, and our products. You have to be a product of the product. We're sharing our belief more than we're sharing the products. If we can share our testimonies with somebody, that is going to bring them to our business way faster than our products will. You always have to share your passion and what you love about each product before you just throw a sales pitch at them. Positive team culture. Establish IPA groups. I'm in probably 3 IPA groups right now, just specifically for a leaders retreat, and they hold you accountable. They will message you and tell you, hey, why aren't you still doing these tasks? Because they're throwing tasks at you that are going to make you succeed. If you're doing these tasks, there is no way you will fail. Zoom trainings, just like we're on tonight. Our team has a Zoom training every Monday at 8, and we're fixing to start a Zoom training on Tuesdays. I'm not sure what time that is, but it's Felicia's training, and so she'll definitely be able to tell us more about that. Encouraging and contesting. Like I said, your network will work harder for praises than they will for raises. So getting on those team pages and congratulating somebody when they have new ambassadors, welcoming your new ambassadors to all your team pages, that's super motivating. Whenever I first started, I was welcomed on 3 different team pages, and that was super, super motivating for me because all those ladies got behind us and was so supportive, had so many encouraging words. That just really got the ball rolling for me. So I know it would help your team too. How to run with your runners. Once you identify your runners, you need to respect your entire downline. It doesn't matter if they're a runner or not. If they have questions and if they're reaching out to you, you need to. If they're further down, if they're your 6 and 7s, those people still count for points. Those people are still important to your business. They're still helping you grow your business. if they need help with something, don't hesitate to help them, because they are your team and they're going to be motivated by what you're doing. You need to pour your efforts into those who want it. Roz said you need to spend 80% of your time with the top 20% of your business. So the top 20% of your ambassadors that actually want it, that are actually working the business, that actually reach out to people and post consistently and are trying to promote, those are the people you spend 80% of your time on. I'm not saying you don't need to promote on everybody, but you need to spend the majority in that top 20 promoting you. The difference between a boss and a leader, this is super important because they're just that type of person. I'm that type of person. And whenever this slide came up when we were at convention, it really hit home. And it really brought into perspective what we need to do for our teams to be better leaders and not bosses. A boss drives employees. Leaders coaches them. They teach them how to be the best that they can be at their business. Bosses depend on authority, but a leader depends on goodwill. A boss inspires fear, and a leader generates enthusiasm. If you're scaring people out of the business, you are a boss, and you need to take a look in the mirror and get your leader face on, because you need to generate enthusiasm in your team to motivate your team, because that team is what's going to help create that that income for you. That I totally went blank on the word I was thinking about. A boss says I, whereas a leader says we. We are a team, and we are going to the top. We're all going to get there together. Some may come slower than the rest of us, and some may speed way past us, but we're all going in there as a team. Bosses place blame for things that go wrong, or why they didn't get a promotion, or why they're not making as much as somebody else, where leaders fix the breakdowns. Leaders take time and set aside time to help those people that are stuck in a rut, having a low point in their business. A good leader helps to bring those people out of that low point. A boss knows how it's done, whereas a leader show people how it's done. That's just like when, who was it? Jen Hawkins said, they won't mock what you say, they mock what you do. So if you're just barking orders at people, they're probably not going to do what you're telling them to do. And it's just going to be more of a confusion than anything. Whereas if you just do what you're saying, what you're telling everybody else to do, they're more likely going to see that process is working for you, and they're going to do the same thing. Bosses use people, whereas leaders develop people. That's just about training. You have to train your team to be the leaders that you want to see in yourself. Bosses take credit where leaders give credit. You can't take credit for getting diamond when you know good and well that you didn't do that by yourself, because there's no way you would have gotten past senior gold by yourself. You have to give credit to your team and give praises to your team, because like they said, your network will work harder for praises than they will for raises. Bosses command people to do things, whereas leaders ask people to do things. Helping your team set goals and helping them set their why and figure out what their why is going to drive your team to do the best of their abilities. Whereas if you command someone, they're probably going to leave your team. They're probably going to give up on the whole business side because they're tired of listening. Bosses say go, and leaders say let's go. Let's do this together. Let's go to the top together. A negative thinker sees a difficult opportunity, whereas the positive thinker sees an opportunity in every difficulty. That's just pretty much saying you have to see the good in the bad. You have to have those positive thoughts. Those positive thoughts have to consume your mind. That's just plain and simple. Our positive affirmations that you have written down, that you should have written down, and if you don't, you need to write them down and put them in several different places so you see them every day. Because those affirmations are definitely going to be the thing to drive your business. Your why is going to drive your business. You need to read and revisit that why multiple times. Your why is always going to change. And if you're not thinking positive about your why and about your affirmations, your business is not going to thrive. Your business thrives on positive thinking. There will be obstacles, there will be doubters, and there will be mistakes. But with hard work, there are no limits. Roz left us with that, and that was so moving to me because that is so true. I've only been with Plexus since March, and I've tackled multiple obstacles. I've made some mistakes. I had a bunch of fall off after I went fast start, but that's just something you have to learn from and grow from. And pushing through that low point in my business really helped me to get my motivation back right before we went to convention. And Roz is so right. With hard work and dedication, there are no limits. So that's pretty much what I took from convention. There was so much more that I could have shared with you, but we probably would have been here all night. And I'm pretty sure we all have lives and stuff to get back to, but convention was life-changing for me. It completely took charge of my business, and it changed my business for me. Being a part of Plexus and being a part of convention, it was so motivating. It was just, there's no really words to put it into, because if you weren't there, you honestly missed out. The vibes that we brought back from convention, it changes your business. And your upline will tell you that, and people that have been to convention will tell you that once you go to convention, you're not going to quit Plexus. You're not going to give up on your business because of the vibes you get there. Meeting Alec and Tarl was amazing. They're the most down-to-earth people, and those are the people that run our company, that run corporate. And just knowing that they support us, and the fact that they don't do anything that isn't good for us. If it's good for the business and not good for us, they're not going to do it. And if it's good for the ambassadors and not good for corporate, they're not going to do it. It has to be good for both parties before they do something. And the fact that there's no dollar sign on the training that we need or the products that we need, they're willing to put every penny into us and not cap that. And that's just phenomenal. That just makes our corporate more, we have the best company in the biz. Nothing is going to outperform Plexus. So that's just what I took away from convention. Kenna, did you have anything to add to that?
Brianna, can I say one thing real quick? Because I agree with you so much. I've told y'all before that my first convention, I was in Plexus for less than 3 months, and I went as a gold. You guys, without that convention and without getting the belief system in this company and the leadership of this company and the integrity of this company from the very beginning, I know without a doubt in my heart that I would have dropped off during the hard times. So when Brianna says that convention is that important, she means it. So I want all of us to be there next year because it is completely life-changing.
And leadership, and leader, I can't even think what it is, the leaders retreat.
Yes.
Same deal.
Yeah.
It's the same deal. It's going to put so much belief and motivation. I mean, just listen to Brianna talk. She's like beaming about convention, and Kenna, and watching those three at convention was like a proud mama moment to me, because I was just like, yes, I just wish everyone could have been there, because I have been there too, and it is, you can't even explain what it is until you go, I guess. But you can watch it on their face. What she just told us was amazing, and you could just hear the enthusiasm in her voice. So I think we've already missed convention now, so let's try to get there next year. But let's try to get to Leaders Retreat, because we can all get there. Go ahead, Kenna.
Wait, can I say one
My
thing?
name.
Felicia, I think she showed it in Team Freedom. There's a leadership point tracker. Everybody needs to print that off and fill that out every month. We're getting to Leaders Retreat. We're all going. We're going to have the biggest team there. So everybody print that off. And
Yeah, that's an awesome point tracker too.
I think one of the biggest things I took out of convention is the family aspect of it. It was crazy. Like, you just like walk around and everybody's talking to everybody and you meet all these wonderful people and everyone is wanting to help you. Like, you don't know each other's name, but they are there to help you and they want to help you and they don't care whose team you're on or where you're from or any of that. It was just, we were all hugging and we were all taking pictures and laughing together and everybody was giving you some advice and, this is how I did it and these are the things that I did and didn't do and I should have done. And that was just something that I just couldn't believe, that just, people that are, diamonds and emeralds and jewels, all the jewels, you just walk around and they don't know who you are at all, but you know who they are. And, and so it was amazing. That was one thing that I took out of it, was just the family aspect of what our business is, because Plexus is, and that's what corporate wants. They want us to be a big family. And, we talked about one Plexus, and that really touched me, that, we are one, and that's how we need to promote our businesses too, that we are a family, and we're not here to do anything but help other people and make their lives better and make them healthier. And we want them to succeed in all the things that we already know that Plexus can do for their life. And so that was something that was really big for me. And I definitely think that convention is definitely going to be that one thing that keeps me strong through the hard times. I definitely agree with that, there's going to be things that people have said and advice that I've gotten and, things that a speaker had said that is going to kind of give me that push that I'm going to need in those really hard times when, stuff isn't going right, or you get, 20 no's in one day, those are the really hard days. And, those are the days that you need to, go back to your convention notes and see what motivated you then. So I think that I'm incredibly motivated. And so I definitely believe that everybody needs to. And so I'm done talking.
That was good. Anyone have any questions? No?
let's get started. I know there's a couple new people. My new level 1 Stormy's on here. She's from Taylor, Texas, and so I just want to introduce her. She's my new level 1, and she's going to be awesome. Yeah. So did Stormy, there's a bunch of our upline on here. Did you have any questions at all about the business side or anything at all?
I'm sure, Stormy, this is really overwhelming, because I remember being in your spot and you look at all these people and you have no idea who they are. But you get way more comfortable and they're wonderful and any question that you have. So I'm sure that we all know where you are. So please don't be scared.
Welcome to the team, Stormy. We're so glad to have you here. And please note that, like they said, everybody here is for you, and we're always available to you. So just please reach out to us anytime, okay? We're excited to have you. Sorry, I have a cold.
Sorry, Jessica. I also wanted to add in there that convention and events are awesome, but we only have 2 of those a year. So the other thing that's awesome is getting on these team calls, and because we can teach, we can ask questions, we can motivate, we can let our leaders lead. Thanks, Brianna and Kenna. I think it's awesome when everyone wants to lead, and I think it's really cool because we all do have strengths, and we can all tell different ways of doing things. But the Felicia's call is at 8 tomorrow, Central Time. So if y'all can be on that, it's a push to get us to Leaders Retreat, and we do want to be there. I can guarantee you want to be there. So try to do that. I was also going to talk about, we've always talked about like saying our affirmations, writing them down. I have them like everywhere I look. But I heard another thing on Instagram. A lady was talking about affirmations, and there you can put an affirmation on a timer, and it'll come up. Like you can set the timer for whatever time of day, and it will say your affirmations. And there's a lot of affirmation apps, and I didn't know that. So you can set those, and like if you want to hear "I am the greatest" at the end of the day or whatever, set it for that time, and it'll say it in your voice. So that's another good thing. And then the shareables in the back office, I saw that the other day when I was in there, and I was like, wow. I mean, it is really cool. I didn't know that they were going to have the books, the audio books and the books for us to read. So that's pretty cool too. So if you haven't gotten into your back office, go in there and check that out because it's very cool.
Ruby, can I say one thing about the shareables real quick?
Yep.
And I put a thing on my team page and on Team Freedom also just to remind us, because just like with everything, we are one plexus. So we see something and we copy, paste, share, but just be real careful with those shareables, guys, because somebody not on a separate team, on my team, but not this part of this group tonight, she was sharing them. And so I just decided to click on one because I was in Odessa with my aunt. Well, it led me to another person's website because she had just shared it. So do not share the shareables from other people on Facebook, because it would be so sad if one of your friends signed up under somebody else, because correcting that is next to impossible. So make sure that you go to your back office and share directly from your back office so it's linked to your website, okay?
I've been trying to get
that. You can copy and paste their you can copy and paste what they use as far as the description or whatever their post, but do not share the link. Go share the link from your back office.
What were you going to say, Barbara?
I've been trying to get them to where I can get it to my Facebook or to my page or whatever. I haven't been able to get them to download or go there yet. I've been working on it.
Barbara, honestly, I haven't tried yet, but did you ever set your back office to be linked with your Facebook or your Pinterest?
That might be what I need to do. And no, I have never done that.
Okay. I did it in the very beginning, so I'm going to be real honest with you. Right off the top of my head, I can't remember how to do it. Let me play around with it tonight, okay? And we'll get it figured out for you.
Awesome, thanks.
You're welcome.
I know I shared one and it worked. So
Okay.
What, Brianna?
Will you let me know too, Jessica?
Who asked that?
Kim?
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
if it's okay with Ruby, I will probably just I can make it once I figure it out. I can make a short video and screen share and just post it on her team page.
Awesome.
I got to put that on my to-do list because I'm scatterbrained lately.
Jessica, I think that's a really good point. I probably honestly would have never thought about I think that's cool, and just shared it, and then it's going to take take my people to somebody else's back office. I really appreciate that you saying that, because like I said, I was there and I heard all of it, but I didn't even process it.
Right. And I wouldn't have thought about it either. And I'm glad I caught it for her, because, we share so much. I wouldn't have thought about it either. So.
Anyone else have anything to say? Ask? Share?
I just want to thank Brianna, because she was pretty awesome. There was a lot of interesting stuff, and it really gave me a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken and Brianna, y'all both did fabulous. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And by the way, I like Stormy's link.
a Word document and share them in our files, because there was just way too much for me to talk about. So I'm going to try to put it into a document from my phone and share it in our files on either Team Freedom or Going to the Top, whichever one. So y'all can have the rest of my notes too.
Yeah.
I want to touch on one more thing if y'all have time right quick. I feel like that something that was really pushed while we were there was our welcome boxes that we got in. You know, they talked a lot about that, and they talked about it in their gold training too. You know, when you get new ambassadors, to be honest, I hadn't read any of mine. I didn't think they were that important. I came home, went to convention, and learned very differently that they are extremely important. You know, when you get new ambassadors, you know, maybe if you can, I don't know if y'all all do this, and if you do, good job. But, you know, sit down with them and go through that with them and show them the resources and the tools that Plexus gives us from day one. You know, they give us so many things from day one in that package that could just, boom, make your runner right there because they understand and everything that's going on. So I feel like they made that a really big deal, that everything that they put in there was specifically put in there to encourage and show them the ropes so that and even take a little bit off of you. You know, it helps with your training and all that too. So I feel like that was a really big deal that they talked about quite a lot. And so that was just something I really took away from that too. So
You're talking about the success kits? So go over it with them.
It's the only thing you take out of that success kit. The one thing that was super, super important is our little book that comes in it, the little binder book. Have them read that front to back a million times because that explains every aspect of Plexus. That is the most important part of that entire kit. The whole thing's super important and it all ties together great. But if they have to pick one thing to look at first, have them read that book.
Did they tell you guys when they're going to be for sale or when the new digital ones are going to be available to us?
They said by fall. They're hoping by Leaders Retreat, but fall for sure, the end of fall, closer to Christmas for sure. But they're hoping to have them by Leaders Retreat so that our ambassadors that signed up after or before the new ones came out can have those. So they're trying to get it done as fast as possible. I think that's like at the top of their list again.
Because I want one.
They are pretty awesome.
We were there, and the line to get just one, you could only get one per ambassador, was out the door.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Ruby's let me look at hers, and I've taken some copies of it, but I want one of my own because I'm a highlighter and I'm a marker, and you know I like to write my stuff. So.
well, there's nothing like getting to touch the top of it and feel your ink feel like it's scattered.
Right.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
There are a lot of cool things in there. I've given away all of the little "What If It Could Change Everything" books. I've sent the postcards to people. That book, I'm like Jessica, I've got it tagged and highlighted, and my product cards, I actually gave them to a person who doesn't live in Amarillo. I mailed them to her, and I made me just a little copy on some cardstock so that I could, you know, show them when I'm showing the success kit. But if you don't have one of those, if you're new after they came out, then you probably do have one. If you signed up before that, then you probably don't. And if you didn't go to Super Saturday or convention, you probably don't either. So when they come out, if you don't have one, try to get one for sure. They're pretty awesome. All right. Anything else? It's a little over an hour now.
The product cards are my favorite.
Yeah, they are awesome. I think they're really good because you don't have to know anything about the products, and they have talking points. So if you're brand new, you can talk about the products to anyone with those cards. There's the prices there. Everything's right there. So, that's probably my favorite.
I think that I like that even when I feel like I'm talking to potential ambassadors, I don't have to sit there and puke all the information on them, and that makes them feel like that they don't have to get in this and know everything, that we have things for them to know that, you don't have to be an expert. You just have to be a product of the product, and everything else will fall into place, and Plexus does everything else for you. And so I think that's my favorite thing about them, is that I pull them out no matter if I know their answer or not. I do tell them, y'all don't have to look at my cards, but I feel like that it's good for me to show them that I'm doing this without having to be a doctor or an expert and stuff like that. So that's what I really like about the cards.
Yeah. That's a big thing. I think when I first started, that was the scariest part to me, is I didn't know. We talked about disease, which we can't talk about now, which some parts of that is good and some parts not, but I don't have to know about every disease and know what product works for that. I just need to know what the products do. And so I think that makes it a whole lot simpler for me anyway. All right, Brianna needs to head home, I think, get back to her baby. And I'm going to shut this down. Oh, Barbara, did you have a question? No? Okay. Hopefully we can do more trainings like this too, where someone wants to share an idea or a new idea, or just something that they know, instead of like me always trying to figure out something to talk about. Because we do all have strengths, and I think we do all have something that we can share with each other. So I may be asking more people to do this just because it's fun and we get to hear other people's voices. So again, thank you, Brianna and Kenna, for sharing with those of us that weren't able to go. It was awesome.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you.